The dinner table is a place where your family gathers. Is that true of your dinner table? Is it a place where your family gathers, or is it just a meal location? What if our dinner tables were more than just mealtime locations? What if we took away the distractions that come into our lives and we leaned into the relationships that are around those tables? Welcome to Families at New Life Church, where we are helping parents disciple their kids at home. I'm Tim, I'm one of the pastors here, and you can submit your questions. You can email them at families@nlcca.org, or you can leave a comment at the bottom here. There are different rooms in our houses. Our house is made up of multiple rooms, and a lot of the rooms have a specific purpose. The kitchen and the dining area, eating area, breakfast nook, whatever you want to call it, the kitchen area is probably the most used place in our homes. And it's not just used for making food. Now, our bedrooms are spaces that hold our beds, they hold our clothes. We might have a sitting area in our bedrooms, but for the most part, they're there so we can sleep, right? Our kids enjoyed their bedrooms because it also has some of their toys in it, right? Our garages are a space where we store stuff, whether it's cars, whether it's boxes. The cars don't fit because there's so many boxes. I get it, I just moved. Totally with you on that. So, going to the next room, our living rooms. There are places where we relax and unwind, right? Maybe you watch TV, maybe you read, maybe you play games with the kids. Not much relaxing there, but anyhow, it's a place where we unwind nonetheless. The dinner table, it's used for not just eating. It's used for homework, it's used for meals, but it's also used to build that model airplane. And I've got 5 kids. We use the dinner table for lots of things. Like our 3-year-old wants to play with Play-Doh. There's a great place to play with it, at the dinner table, right? The list goes on. The dinner table is used for so much. But you know what? It's also the dinner table where we have our conversations, right? We're open, we're honest, we're vulnerable. And there are some conversations that we're crying. Maybe it's because of sadness, but you know what the best type of crying is when you are laughing so hard that you are uncontrollably crying, right? So today I want you to start at the table. When we disciple our kids, why don't we start at the place where we are the most often at? The dinner table. When the food's all eaten, or at least touched a couple times, and maybe some of it's on the floor, right? With the picky eaters and such. You know what happens then? If we continue to sit there, conversations can begin. But wait! What if our family isn't eating at the dinner table? What if we're eating at the couch? What if we're watching a show while we're eating dinner at the dinner table? Is that a bad thing? If we're gonna lean into our relationships, we may wanna do that differently. What if you start by prioritizing when it best works for you and your family schedule to sit down and eat meals together at the table? Not the couch, not your bedrooms, no. Together, where you're face to face with everyone, phones away, tablets away, you're just sitting there at the table. We return to our regularly scheduled programming at this time. So today I'm going to give you some questions that you can ask to begin to develop those conversations that you will have at the dinner table. So, first question is this. Ask a question about the day. What is something that you enjoy doing today? What was something you didn't enjoy doing? When I had to take the trash out. Second question is you can ask a question about their relationships. I'm not talking about boyfriend, girlfriend, although you may be there with those teenagers. I'm just talking about their friendships. Who is one of your friends? And why do you enjoy doing things together? What is something you enjoy doing together, right? Another question number 3 is ask a question about Jesus, right? When we build into our everyday conversations around the table, or even not around the table, in the car, and we just talk about Jesus always, that speaks to our kids. So were you able to show Jesus love to someone today? Oh, I love them. Were you kind? Yeah. Did you help someone? Yeah. Some kid tripped and I picked up their books. Or maybe the kid was sitting by themselves at the playground because he couldn't reach the monkey bars, so I sat with him. Right? Yeah, there's all kinds of questions we could ask. 4, were you able to talk about Jesus with someone today? What have you learned about Jesus this week? Maybe it was in your Bible reading. Maybe it was your conversations that you had with someone. Maybe it was at church. And then the final question we can ask, how can we be more like Jesus as a family? And if we think about it as fruits of the Spirit, we can be more loving, we can be more patient, we can be more kind, we can be more good, and the list goes on. Maybe that involves serving others. Maybe you have friends over for dinner, your kids' friends, because their parents work late. And then just talking about Jesus every day with our kids is really the point of it all. That's one of the first ways we can disciple our kids. So where should you start? Maybe you should start by taking away the distractions at the table. Maybe you should start by actually meeting and eating together at the table once a week, twice a week, 4 times a week. Maybe you could actually go into having those conversations with people around the table. As church leaders, we do our best to give the kids a foundation on what to believe and why to believe it. But the rubber hits the road Monday through Saturday when the parents are with the kids, whether they go to school, whether they're homeschooled, whatever their situation is, the parents are with them for a good part of the week. So I hope this has been helpful for you today in starting with the table. Remember this, our kids don't need a perfect parent. They need a present parent. So be present as you disciple your kids today.